Sup? Hi. Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the Blinking Planetary EP by Myrid that came out 6 days ago. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I've heard one of the tracks. Now, before you get mad at me, I heard Vela, or Vela, I'm just going to go with Vela, off Joe React's Volume 1 video, and I was like, yeah, this is really good. And then I wanted to find more Myrid tunes, and I couldn't really find anything on YouTube, so I looked through his SoundCloud, and I found this EP with Vela on it. So I want to review it, since Vela just sounded so mind-blowing. So since I've already heard one of the tracks, I'm going to make that the shortest part of the video. I'm going to hear the track and listen to it because I like it a lot. But that's the 4th song, so there's 5 songs on here, and they're all by him. They're just by him. So let's just get into it with the first song, Quantum Particle. There's no reason for me to review this other than the fact that I've heard Vela. So I am going into this pretty much blind. A very eerie intro. This is 5 minutes as well, so it's going to be a long one. Morbid. Very. The atmosphere in this is really well done. But it is slow, though. And there's not much to it. Very minimal, like, trappish approach. This is super refreshing. It's really creative. The ambience and reverb in this is really well done. Also, the lights in my eyes are the SoundCloud pulled up, so that's what that is. In case people haven't figured that out. Ooh, different pitches. Super vibey song. This is just a song you can chill to, while still having that kind of unique spin on it to keep it interesting. This song is just pure atmosphere. Like, there's just so many little background elements and a lot of reverb tails and like the basses and patterns and just the general progression. It's very slow. It's a long track, 5:09, but I think for me it keeps its interest with just the sheer atmosphere that it builds up throughout the entire track. And I love those like blippy noises, and I love the do that gets brought in like every 4 bars, I think. And it's just super vibey and really creative, in my opinion, because I haven't really heard stuff like this aside from like deep dub, but this is a weirder version of deep dub that I would categorize with Myrid. And let's get into Auriga. I'm gonna go with that. Second track. Again, super dark, super like robotic and lasery. His style. The atmosphere. I love that faded out hi-hat. Ooh. Percussion placement. Also, the fake out was a really good way to introduce you to the drop. I love that. Super simple idea, but it keeps you very interested with all the pattern placements with the percussion and how he stretches out a string of notes every here and then. super cool. Ooh, adds more layers. That song is another very atmospheric, fun, really dark tune. It really kind of builds tension through that intro and like the off drop sections, and then with those like faded out hi-hats that he puts up before the drop, and then when you get into that drop it gets into a fake out which introduces you to that sound design, which is a really good way of introducing it, because if you just threw in the kick you might just be like, oh my god, this is sudden, but he didn't. He introduces you with like gradually adding more layers, and then getting into that drop, it's a very constant wow, 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 a constant pattern, and there's like a few different pattern switches up throughout, but they're just like, they're very minimal to just try to keep your attention, and I really like the all the percussion stuff that he does in this. It's really, really nice, and it keeps it from being boring, and it's just, it adds to the really cool atmosphere of this. So again, this is a solid tune. A Pistol Star. I wanted to listen to this tune, but then I realized it was on this EP, so I waited. So let's get into that. All these intros are super vibey and just pleasant on the ear. They sound like background music to what you'd see in like a sewer, or like a really dark hallway. The background music you'd hear for that. Ooh. Ooh. This is a really clean song. I gotta move this. Alright, back to the song. Ooh, a different second drop. It reminds me a lot of Veer in terms of pattern usage. Alright, so this one might be my favorite out of the EP so far. It's really, really nice. I love the, again, very atmospheric intro, but still a slightly different than the others, just a bit of a different progression. I really like the sporadicness of this song, and it uses those really lasery sounds that you kind of heard in this EP a bit before, but now it's just kind of come in full flow. And I really like the progression this EP is getting. It's like building up to more sporadic-y stuff, and I really like that. And I also like how it's a seamless transition into that sustained bass in the second half of both drops. But getting into the song that I've already heard, Vela, and this song is really, truly insane. I really like it a lot. So I'm just going to hear it for myself. This is the shortest song of the bunch, I think. And it packs the most in it. 3 drops in total. Oh. This is mind-blowing. This is so big. Ugh. Why does this have to be released at the end of the year? I gotta get the thumbnail. What can I say? Where do I even start with this one? Jesus, it starts with a 16-bar intro and build up, and it gets right into that drop, and holy crap, that's so sporadic and just filled to the brim with little noises and just so many little fills, and the little, like, the little bit where the sounds get stretched out and there's like a lot of sub bass. It's just so good. This song is pure ear candy. It's just need to follow this guy. He only has a little over 1,000 SoundCloud followers, but this guy's gonna blow up. And I know that. 5th track, and the last song of the EP, Beta Lyrae. I'm gonna go with that. Beta Lyrae. It's another long one. It's 4 minute 30. It seems a bit different. It's like faded out white noise in the background. Or in the forefront. No, never mind. Super dark again. I don't know when this is gonna drop. Even if it is, anyway. This might be the best atmosphere so far. I don't want to skip through it because I want to know what happens. Is it gonna drop? I don't know. Ooh. He just slowly adds. This is horror game music right here. Wow. If you notice, like, the white noise, I'm trying to drown out my family. But this is the most atmospheric of the bunch. I really like just the sheer anxiety it kind of gives you, because it really builds you up for something like massive, like a drop, but it never drops, and I'm fine with that. But having this be the second longest song, I think kind of hurts it. But I do really like the approach he's going for, and I think he pulls it off well. I just think it gets a bit stale at the end. It's still really enjoyable. It plays off of Myrid's style, and this feels like an outro song, because it starts with atmosphere and it ends with atmosphere. And having only 4 songs in this, like, that have drops is completely fine, because this just gives you a lot more of his atmospheric music. And that's really cool, and I love that. Wow. This entire EP is so masterfully crafted. This guy has just over 1,000 SoundCloud followers. Like, he deserves 100,000. This guy, like, just, he seems so in his element at this point. Oh my god, this is so cool. Wow. I love the atmosphere. I love all the little lasery noises and stretched out sounds that he uses in like a really quick burst of like 16 to 32 notes. This is crazy. Vela is one of my favorite tunes of this year, and this EP might be in like my top 5 EPs of the year. I don't even know how to rank EPs anymore, because there were just so many that came out. It's like, look at the releases that happened this month alone. We have the Canna EP, we have the D2D EP, and we have this EP. All 3 that I reviewed, and all 3 that I love. This is just crazy. And was Tokyo Bounce released this month? I don't think it was. But this month, for the last month of the year, people save the best for last. I gotta say. I've never even heard of Myrid until now. This is insane. I definitely have to follow his entire discography, because hearing this right now, holy shit. 10. If I've given a 10 on this channel, I've regretted it, but I think I'm gonna stand by this one. Even though Beta Lyrae is just a bit stale at the end, I can see why people would absolutely love it to death, and I do to a certain degree. I love all these songs. All these songs are super refreshing for the scene. They're really cool, deep dub, and I haven't heard much deep dub, if you can even call this deep dub. I just really like how Myrid makes music, and I'm definitely going to see where he takes his stuff going forward. That's all from me. This EP was crazy. It might be my favorite of the year. Don't quote me on that. But it is great. Go support Myrid. I'll probably link his SoundCloud down below, just because he's so underrated. That's it. See ya. Goodbye.